Have you ever imagined if everything you know and believe to be real is just an illusion? What if your brain is deceiving you every day? Welcome to the intriguing world where nothing is as it seems. The idea that everything around us might not be real is as fascinating as it is disturbing. Imagine if the world we know, the people we love, and even our own bodies were merely creations of our mind. Reality, as we perceive it, includes both the physical world we can touch and see as well as abstract concepts like thoughts and emotions. However, some argue that none of this is truly real and that it only exists because we are here to observe it. Modern physics and philosophy have raised questions about the true nature of reality. Are we merely living in a projection, a collective dream where our perceptions are limited and often distorted? Our understanding of the real is mediated by our five senses, which provide incomplete and sometimes misleading information about the world. What we consider to be reality may be just a construction of our mind, shaped by personal experiences and beliefs. This reflection leads us to question the essence of what it means to be real. If reality is just a perception, to what extent can we trust what our senses tell us? This line of thought is ancient, dating back to classical philosophers who also questioned the existence of an objective reality. As we delve deeper, we begin to realize that perhaps what we call reality is just a complex illusion created by our brain to help us navigate the world. Science and philosophy have increasingly questioned the true nature of what we consider real, suggesting that our perceptions are limited and often distorted. What we see, hear, and feel is filtered by the brain, which interprets these stimuli in ways that do not always correspond to objective reality. For example, optical illusions demonstrate how our brain can be deceived, seeing movement where there is none or shapes that do not exist. The limitation of our senses means that we can only perceive a fraction of what is actually there. There are radio waves, X-rays, ultrasound, and other forms of energy that we cannot directly detect but are as real as visible light. This limited perception leads us to construct a simplified and sometimes misleading version of the world around us. This is something that philosophy has explored for centuries, questioning the nature of reality and our ability to fully comprehend it. Moreover, our personal experiences, memories, and expectations significantly influence our perception. Two individuals can see the same scene and interpret it in completely different ways based on their past experiences and emotional states. This suggests that reality is subjective, a unique construction of each mind. Modern science, especially neuroscience, continues to unravel the complex processes our brains use to create this reality, revealing that what we perceive as real may be a highly edited and personalized version of what actually exists. Philosophy has long questioned the nature of reality and how we perceive it. René Descartes, one of the most influential philosophers of the modern era, argued that the only certainty we have is the existence of our own thoughts, summarized in his famous phrase, "I think, therefore I am." Descartes suggested that everything around us could be an illusion and that the only point of certainty was the awareness of one's own thought. This perspective casts deep doubt on the trust we can place in our senses and the reality they present to us. Plato, another giant of philosophy, presented the allegory of the cave, which vividly illustrates how human perception can be deceptive. In the allegory, prisoners chained inside a cave can only see shadows projected on the walls, and to them, these shadows constitute the entirety of reality. When a prisoner is freed and sees the real world outside the cave, he realizes that the shadows were just a pale imitation of the true reality. Plato uses this allegory to argue that the world we perceive through the senses is just a shadow of the true reality, which can only be understood through the intellect. Another notable example is the concept of solipsism, the idea that only one's own mind is certain to exist. This extreme view suggests that everything we experience, all people, objects, and events, are simply projections of our mind. While solipsism is a difficult philosophical position to sustain, it serves as a powerful reminder of the limitations of our perception and the fragility of what we consider real. These philosophies challenge us to question not only what is real but how we can know what is real. If reality is a matter of perception, and that perception is often subjective and variable, then there are no absolute truths, only different lenses through which we view the world. The colors we perceive, the shapes we distinguish, and even the sensations we experience are interpretations by the brain based on external stimuli. For example, what one person sees as blue, another might see as green, depending on variations in their perceptual systems. This raises the question, to what extent can we trust what our senses tell us about what is real? The duality of perception also extends to the quantum level, where particles can exhibit behaviors of both waves and particles, depending on how they are observed. This phenomenon, known as wave-particle duality, defies classical logic and suggests that reality may be more fluid and interconnected than we imagine. The way we choose to observe a particle can determine its behavior, indicating that reality is not fixed but moldable by our perception and interaction. This idea that reality is subjective and influenced by perception has profound implications. If our interpretations of the world are based on individual experiences, how can we achieve an objective understanding of reality? Quantum physics and neuroscience suggest that what we consider real is merely a construction of our mind, influenced by external and internal factors. This duality of perception challenges us to reconsider our beliefs about what is truly real and encourages us to explore the multiple layers of reality that exist beyond what our senses can capture. The concept of Maya in Hindu philosophy suggests that the world we perceive is an illusion, a web of deceptions that prevents us from seeing the true nature of reality. According to this view, everything we experience through the senses is temporary and misleading, a distraction from the true essence of the universe. Maya is described as the veil that covers the truth, creating a separation between the human being and the ultimate reality. This idea aligns with the discoveries of quantum physics, where the nature of subatomic particles defies classical logic and suggests that reality is much more complex than it seems. Quantum physics reveals a world where particles can be in multiple places at the same time and where the act of observation can alter a particle's state. This is known as Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which states that we cannot simultaneously know the position and momentum of a particle with absolute precision. This intrinsic uncertainty in the behavior of subatomic particles suggests that reality is largely indeterminate and influenced by the observer, aligning with the Hindu idea of Maya as an illusory reality. These connections between philosophy and science invite us to reconsider what we understand as reality. If what we perceive is just an illusion created by our senses and mind, how can we access the underlying truth of the universe? Spiritual traditions, like Hinduism, suggest that it is through meditation and inner search that we can overcome the illusion of Maya and perceive the ultimate reality. Similarly, science continues to seek ways to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos, attempting to penetrate the veil of illusion and achieve a deeper understanding of reality. Quantum physics suggests that consciousness may be intrinsically linked to the fabric of the universe. Some theorists propose that consciousness is not just a byproduct of the human brain but a fundamental property of the cosmos, present in all things, from subatomic particles to complex organisms. This idea, known as panpsychism, suggests that mind and matter are two aspects of the same underlying reality. Quantum mechanics, with its bizarre and interconnected phenomena, seems to support this view, showing that the separation between observer and observed is much thinner than we imagined. One of the most intriguing aspects of quantum physics is quantum entanglement, where distant particles can instantly influence each other, regardless of the distance separating them. This suggests that there is a deep network of interconnections that spans the entire universe, defying traditional notions of space and time. This interconnectedness can be seen as a reflection of universal consciousness, where every part of the universe is intimately linked and affected by the whole. Moreover, some interpretations of quantum physics, such as the many worlds theory, suggest that there are infinite realities coexisting simultaneously, each resulting from different choices and observations. This raises fascinating questions about the nature of reality and the role of consciousness in creating the universe. If reality is a complex tapestry of quantum possibilities, our conscious perception may be just one of many ways to experience this vast multiverse. The interpretations of quantum mechanics are varied and intriguing, each offering a unique perspective on the nature of reality. The Copenhagen interpretation, one of the most traditional, suggests that particles do not have definite properties until they are observed. In other words, physical reality is not determined until a measurement is made, implying that the act of observation collapses all possibilities into a single concrete reality. This raises profound questions about the role of the observer in creating reality. Another fascinating interpretation is the many worlds theory, proposed by Hugh Everett. According to this theory, every time a quantum measurement occurs, the universe splits into multiple parallel universes, each representing a possible reality. This means that there are infinite versions of ourselves living in infinite universes, each experiencing a slightly different reality. This interpretation challenges our linear understanding of time and space, suggesting a multiverse where all quantum possibilities are realized. In addition to these, there is also the de Broglie interpretation, or pilot wave theory, which proposes that particles have defined trajectories guided by a pilot wave. This theory maintains a more deterministic view of the universe, where reality is objective and independent of the observer. However, all these interpretations share the characteristic of challenging our classical intuition about the world, revealing a quantum reality where determinism is replaced by probabilities and complex interconnections. String theory is a bold proposal suggesting that the fundamental particles of the universe are not points but tiny vibrating strings. Each type of particle corresponds to a different form of vibration of these strings. This theory seeks to unify all known physical forces, including gravity and electromagnetism, into a single theoretical framework, offering a revolutionary vision of reality. By considering that all particles are actually strings vibrating at different frequencies, string theory transforms our understanding of reality. The extra dimensions proposed by the theory, beyond the 3 spatial and 1 temporal that we know, indicate that the universe is much more complex than we perceive. These additional dimensions could be curled up on such small scales that they escape our perception but are fundamental to the structure of the cosmos. String theory also suggests that reality is constructed at much deeper and more interconnected levels than we ever imagined. This perspective invites us to reassess what we consider real, integrating concepts from quantum physics and relativity into a cohesive framework. The Indian parable of the blind men and the elephant is a powerful metaphor illustrating our limitations in understanding reality. In the story, 6 blind men encounter an elephant, and each touches a different part of the animal. One touches the trunk and describes it as a snake, another touches the leg and compares it to a tree, a third touches the side of the elephant and says it feels like a wall. Each is correct in their perception, but all are wrong about the whole elephant. Just like the blind men, our perceptions of reality are shaped by our sensory and cognitive abilities. The brain interprets a limited amount of information and constructs a picture of the world that is often incomplete. Our experiences, beliefs, and personal contexts deeply affect how we perceive the world around us. This intrinsic limitation leads us to question the truth of what we consider real and seek a broader and more integrated understanding of reality. Recognizing these limitations, we are inspired to look beyond our immediate perceptions and explore other perspectives. The concept that reality may be an illusory construct gains strength, especially when considering works of fiction like the movie Matrix, which suggests the possibility of living in a simulation. This film, with its profound philosophical implications, invites us to reflect even more on the nature of reality and the illusions that may be hidden in our everyday perception. The movie Matrix is a masterpiece that leads us to question the very essence of reality. In the film, the characters live in a simulation created by machines, unaware that their world is not real. Neo, the protagonist, discovers the truth and is confronted with the difficult choice between continuing to live in illusion or facing the harsh reality. This narrative provokes a deep reflection on the possibility of living in a simulation, deceived by our own senses. Matrix brilliantly illustrates the difficulty of distinguishing between reality and illusion. The simulation is so convincing that, without a revealing event, the characters would never suspect the truth. This concept resonates with the philosophical and scientific ideas we have explored so far, suggesting that our perception of reality may be limited and manipulated. The possibility of living in a simulation is not just fiction but a theory considered by some modern scientists and philosophers. The premise of the film leads us to consider the importance of perception and consciousness in shaping reality. If our senses can be deceived to such an extent, how can we be sure that what we perceive is truly real? As we say goodbye to this fascinating episode, we leave you with a profound reflection: is reality really what we perceive, or are we all trapped in an intricate web of illusions created by our brain? The theories and concepts we explored today challenge our most fundamental beliefs and invite us to continue questioning and exploring. The journey for knowledge never ends, and the more we discover, the more we realize how little we know. If you feel intrigued and want to continue this adventure of discoveries about the universe and the human mind, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Together, we will uncover the secrets of the cosmos and better understand our place in it. Stay with us for more videos that challenge the ordinary and take us to new frontiers of knowledge. See you in the next video?